So welcome to NetworkEthics. So today, as I mentioned, today we are going to start with a demo for our 3-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program. So actually, those who are going to enroll this batch, 3-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program, you guys are going to get additionally two more firewalls. So actually, this compo we have given as a 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program as a instructor lead live training program. So now we are included these two, we are giving us these three firewalls along with other two firewall which is included previously, which is included in our 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program, which is called Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD. These two Cisco products. Additionally, we are including, so you guys, those who are going to enroll this batch, you guys will get other two firewalls as a free of cost, and especially those who are going to join this evening batch and this morning batch, right? So you will get additionally you get one more opportunity. If you want, you can join with a live session for Cisco ASA and FTD. We will give you the pre-recorded course for Cisco ASA and FTD, but still, if you want to go with a live session, you can. If you join this batch, you can get these two firewalls for live training as well. So, which means logically, it's a you guys will get 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program for in this compo itself, 3-in-1 Firewall Mastery Compo itself. You will get other firewalls as well. Live training, you can join us if you wish. Okay. So before discuss about the fee structure, something else, I just want to start with the curriculum which we are going to start and we are going to provide you in the training with this 3-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program. So right. So major three firewalls we will discuss the curriculum, and the rest the Cisco AS and FTD curriculum I'll share with you guys. And because I am not sure in this 1 hour, I think it's not enough to discuss about all the firewall. So other AS and FTD firewall curriculum discussion video I'll share with you for your reference, because tomorrow we are going to have a session. We are going to have a demo session with any of the product like Paloalto or for Checkpoint or FortiGate, okay, or maybe Cisco FTD, Cisco ASA, anything. Any one of the product I'll take for a demo purpose. I'll take a session, and then those who want to get demo with other product like Paloalto, FortiGate, Checkpoint, anything, I'll share with you almost 6 to 8 hours demonstration, 6 to 8 hours session recorded video I'll share with you for your reference. You can just go through that, and then you can decide if you're interested, you can join. Okay, so let's start the curriculum discussion. So in this 3-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program, as I mentioned, so those who are going to enroll 3-in-1 Firewall Program, you will additionally get Cisco ASA and FTD for live training. Okay, live. That live training, it's your wish. If you want, you can join live training, or we will give you the pre-recorded session as well. Okay, so in this 3-in-1 Firewall, as a first firewall product, in this batch evening timing 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So which is going to start on April 8th. Okay. So in this timing we are going to start with Checkpoint. Okay. So evening batch we are planning to start with Checkpoint. And those who are willing to those who are preferring a morning timing, morning batch, so we are going to start one live batch with Cisco FTD. So you can join with this live batch. Okay. So since we are those who are enrolled this 3-in-1 Firewall combo, you will get FTD additionally as a free of cost, FTD and ASA. So you can join with FTD training. Okay, live session. So in morning time. Okay. So after Checkpoint, the same schedule. After Checkpoint, we'll go with Paloalto. After Paloalto, we'll go with FortiGate firewall. Okay. After FortiGate firewall, you guys will get the Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD since live training. If you want, you can join that. Okay. So let me start the course curriculum discussion with the Palo Alto. Okay. So in Palo Alto, there are two type of training flow. Okay. So there are two type of certification level training. Actually, here we are not only providing a certification based training, it's a product based training, and in a real we will discuss lot of real time use cases and industry standards, everything we will discuss here. So however, as per the vendor curriculum, right, so we are covering Palo Alto, and this is purely for from the beginner. So if you no need, if you want to get certification on Palo Alto PCNSA or PCNSA, you then or any other firewall like Checkpoint, CCSA or CCSC or FortiGate, FCP, previously known as NSC4, right? So any type of certification, or if you want to learn any of this firewall, the prerequisites you must have a knowledge of networking basics. If you have a CCNA knowledge, or CompTIA N plus, which means the very fundamental networking fundamentals. So where you learn what is networking, how it is working, what is OSA layer, what is the IP schema, what each layer, how it will work, right? So what is the port number, protocol number, what is ACL. So this kind of fundamental, if you know, so you no need to, if you have a CCNA knowledge, that minimum CCNA level of knowledge, that would be added advantage. If not, at least if you have a networking fundamental like CompTIA N plus, right? So at least if you have a fundamental networking knowledge and where you can able to understand the networking concept, then you can enroll this course. Okay, so but my request, if you must have a, at least CCNA level of knowledge, then only you can easily grab all the concept. And when if you are very new to the firewall technologies, that you no need to worry about it. Okay, because we will start from the scratch only, so we will cover everything from the basics to advanced level, since we are covering product based training. Okay. So as per the industry standard. Okay. So you no need to worry about the firewall concepts. But if you must have a knowledge of networking fundamental, at least CCNA level of knowledge. Okay. So that would be better to make you understand easy, and you can easily grab the concepts. Okay. So that's why my suggestion, it's a prerequisite. CCNA should be a prerequisite to learn these courses, guys. Okay. But if you're a very fresher regarding the firewall technologies, that is fine. So we will here to teach you. So everything we will start from the basics only. Okay. So now, as I mentioned, in Palo Alto, as per vendor certification training program. So in Palo Alto, you guys are going to learn Palo Alto firewall, which is called PAN operating system. Okay. So this Palo Alto firewall you are going to learn. So in this Palo Alto firewall, there are two level of training. One is administrative level, okay, which means associate level, from the beginner to associate level, intermediate level, PCNSA, where you are going to able to manage after completion of PCNSA, you are going to able to manage your Palo Alto firewall for a daily routine configuration, routine updates in terms of firewall rule creation, and then deployment with the interfaces. I mean, deployment based on your business needs, right? Security profile update, taking a backup, and add a Palo Alto firewall administration. You can able to get, you will become a proficient from 0 to 80% of the proficient you can get in a Palo Alto firewall. So you are going to purely learn in PCNSA, you are going to learn Palo Alto deployment and then maintenance in PCNSA level of training. Okay. And if you want to become expert level in PAN operating system, that is called PCNSE. So you are going to learn one more product. In PCNSA, you are going to learn Palo Alto firewall. So if I mention PAN OS, nothing, that is a Palo Alto firewall only, guys. Okay. So you are going to learn Palo Alto firewall in PCNSA, and PCNSA along with Palo Alto firewall, you are going to learn one more product called Panorama. Panorama. So Panorama, it's nothing. It's a centralized management device for the Palo Alto firewall. So in your production network, if you have 100 plus Palo Alto firewalls, or 10 plus Palo Alto, multiple firewalls, if you have all these firewalls, you want to manage under one roof, then Panorama, Panorama is the product. You can manage all your Palo Alto firewalls under one roof, and a lot of advantages we have when you have a panorama. So if you are doing, let's say you're working on MNC company, so they have 100 branches. All those 100 branches, they have a Palo Alto firewalls. Almost 100 plus Palo Alto firewalls they have. All this Palo Alto firewalls, Palo Alto networks, suddenly they given some update, patch update or operating system update, security update, or like or database security profile database updates like IPS database, URL database, application database, right? So that updates they have given. All these updates you need to do it in your Palo Alto firewall, right? So that your device will be in up to date, so your device can able to identify any vulnerability, right? So if it is there in a up to date, right? So patch updates you need to do it. All these 100 branches patch update in normally if you don't have a panorama, right? You need to go each and every branches manually. You need to take each and every branches firewall, branch one firewall manually, and you need to do patch update, and branch two firewall manually you need to access, and you need to do update from the Palo Alto update server. Like that, all 100 branches you need to do it again and again and again. Same task you need to perform multiple times. If suppose if you have a panorama, right? All these 100 firewalls can be integrated with the panorama, and you can do the same task only once. You can perform the patch update only once from your Palo Alto, Palo Alto update server, and you can push the update all your 100 firewalls simultaneously. So the task you are doing only once. Okay, one time only you are going to execute the task when you have a panorama. Okay, so it is a kind of centralized management. It's not only just using for the patch update. You can create a common security policy, and you can deploy the policy into the all your Palo Alto firewall simultaneously under one roof by using panorama, and you can collect the logs, all the 100 branches firewalls logs you can collect, and you can manage under one roof when you have a panorama. So lot of advantage you have when you have a panorama. So in PCNSC, you are going to learn panorama product as well, which means so the Palo Alto R curriculum it will cover PCNSA, PCNSC both. So which means Palo Alto firewall and Palo Alto management device called Panorama. Both you guys are going to learn. Okay. So if you guys want to get Palo Alto training in Palo Alto network itself, the up to PCNSC, they will give this training as a three different paper as per the vendor training EDU 210, EDU 220, EDU 330. Okay, so each paper separates three papers. They each module you have to learn. Okay, so separately, and for each and everything you have to pay separately in a higher cost. So if you want to go get trained in train this Palo Alto in a PAN operating, Palo Alto network itself. in that brand itself, if you want to get this training, you need to get trained all these three papers. Okay, so our curriculum, which is include all these three papers. So these three paper, it's discuss about EDU 210. It's discuss about Paloalto firewall, whatever we are going to discuss in PCNSA. So if you want to get certification on PCNSA level, then you must get training on these paper, EDU 210. So the topics whichever covered in EDU 210, that will be you need to learn. Okay. And if you want to go for a PCNSE, then additionally, you need to learn models EDU 210 and EDU 330 paper. EDU 210 paper, it's talk about panorama centralized device. So how to manage your Palo Alto, so panorama management device, how as a administrator, how to integrate all your Palo Alto firewalls inside the panorama, how to share the, how to create a policy services objects, and how to push that policy services objects into the from the panorama to Palo Alto, and how to collect all the logs from other firewalls to panorama, how to manage the logs in a centralized location. So that and that you are going to learn in a panorama. Okay. And third, EDU 330, which is talk about troubleshooting. What are the troubleshooting method we have in Palo Alto, and how to approach the troubleshoot for Palo Alto, and Palo Alto troubleshooting tools. What are the tools that are available in Palo Alto troubleshooting? How to access the Palo Alto TAC account? A lot of things we are going to discuss. Packet flow, in-depth packet flow discussion, right? So that and all we are going to discuss in EDU 330 paper. Okay, so which is also covered in our training. So basically, EDU 330 paper focusing the troubleshooting, EDU 210 paper focusing your Palo Alto firewall PAN operating system, the deployment and implementation and maintenance. Okay, and then panorama, so which is centralized management device, which is talk about in EDU 220 paper. Okay, so if you want to get certification in administrative level, Palo Alto Certified Network Security Administrator, right? So then you should go for a EDU 210 paper, which is Palo Alto firewall itself enough. But if you are preferring for PCNSE certification, then you must have knowledge of EDU 220 paper and EDU 330 paper. Even your certification is not your concern, right? So when you go for a, if suppose you're not preferring for the certification, but you're preferring the knowledge and technology, then in a real-time industry, right? Along with Palo Alto, if you have a panorama knowledge, then you will get an added advantage, because when you're working in a MNC, obviously they will have a panorama, and you will get opportunity to work with a panorama. So if you have that knowledge, definitely it will be an added advantage to you, and it will give you the more weightage for you. Okay, so coming back to the our curriculum, so our Palo Alto PCNSE curriculum, as I discussed, all these three papers are included, guys. EDU 210, EDU 220, and EDU 330. Okay, all the papers I have, all the topics whichever it is covered on the three papers, everything I have included in our Palo Alto training. Okay, so after Palo Alto, you can go for, there is no prerequisites, you no need to go for, you can directly go for a PCNSE certification as well. If you have a knowledge of Palo Alto and panorama hands on, then you no need to get certification on PCNSA level. Okay, you can directly go for PCNSE, there is no prerequisites. Okay, so the certification cost for both any one of the certification, if you're looking PCNSA or PCNSE, that is around 180 USD. So both are same. So if you go for a PCNSA, you have to pay 180 USD. If you go for a PCNSA, you have to pay 180 USD plus tax, right? So based on your preference. Either you can go with a PCNSA or PCNSA. So if you have, if, however, you are going to pay the same amount of this cost for the certification. So my suggestion, you can directly go with the expert level training, your expert level certification, so which will give you the more weightage. Okay. And one of the worthiest certification, guys, if you are preferring for the certification. Okay, but if you were preferring for the knowledge, that is fine. Even if you get a panorama knowledge, that will be definitely will add, give you the added advantage to you. Okay, so and the validity for this certification is 2 years. So after that, you need to renewal the certification, or you can upgrade some other certification which is available in Palo Alto networks. Okay, Palo Alto networks. So which is it's totally depends on you which domain or which type of certification you are preferring, then you can go with that particular track. Okay. So after Palo Alto, we'll go with a FortiGate firewall training program. Okay. So FortiGate firewall, FortiGate, Fortinet. So don't get confused. FortiGate and Fortinet, somebody will call it as a Fortinet firewall, somebody will call it as a FortiGate firewall. Okay, but both are, if someone has called Fortinet firewall, they are calling only FortiGate firewall only, guys. Okay, so Fortinet is the not a product name, it's a brand name. Okay. So one of the product in Fortinet is the firewall product. So that firewall product name is FortiGate firewall. So Fortinet is just like a Cisco. They have a multiple products, security products. They're mainly focusing security domain, and they mostly have a security products. Okay, and FortiGate firewall, Fortinet, just like Palo Alto Panorama, Forti Manager they have same kind of device, and Forti Analyzer they have, Forti Token, Forti Authenticator, Forti Mail Security, Forti Web Security, right? N number of products they have, 40 access point, 40 secure switch, lot of products they have in a Fortinet, and one of the product is called firewall product. Okay, so that is called FortiGate firewall, and this training previously it is known as NSC4 certification, Network Security Expert Level 4, which is professional level certification. Okay, and now if you go for a certification in FortiGate, sorry, Fortinet track, right? So they have changed the certification track just like Cisco. So the core examination, core knowledge, you must have a core knowledge in Fortinet product. The core product is FortiGate firewall. So if you are looking for NSC 4 certification, NSC 5 certification, or NSC 6, or up to NSC 8 certification level, up to 8, which is similar to Cisco CCIE security certification. Okay, network security expert level 8. So where you are going to have a knowledge of FortiGate firewall and Forti Manager, Forti Analyzer, Forti Token, Forti Authenticator, Forti Access Point, Forti SD-WAN separately, Forti email security, Forti web security. All the products you are going to have a knowledge, and you will become then you will become a network security architect in by using you can secure entire data center by using Fortinet products itself. Okay, so that much of level of knowledge you will get if you go for a NSC 8 certification. But there is a lot of prerequisites to go for NSC 8 or NSC 5, NSC 6, okay, or NSC 4 certification. Anything, first prerequisites, it's a core knowledge, which is you must learn FortiGate firewall. So that's why now this FortiGate firewall training certification is called Fortinet security certified security professional. Okay, so FCP, Fortinet certified security professional certification. Actually, it is nothing. It's a core certification. You must have a knowledge of any. If you're preferring any type of certification in Fortinet, first thing, it's a core knowledge. You should have a FortiGate firewall. Okay. So previously, if you learn FortiGate firewall and you are eligible to write NSC4 certification, if you write the same FCP certification examination, if you write, then you will be called as NSC4 certified engineer. But now they have changed the certification track. So if you want to get NSC4 certification, FortiGate firewall, plus you must have a knowledge of any one of the product, FortiManager, FortiAnalyzer, okay, or any other these two products, any one of these two products you must have a knowledge. Then you must write written exam for FCP and you must write a written exam for any one of this paper. Then you will be called as NSC4 certified engineer. Okay, so for first core examination you must complete. Then only you can go with any of this. Okay, so similar to Paloalto, this certification also 2 years validity. So so you must go with FCP first. In this 2 year of span of time, you can upgrade your certification with any of FortiManager or FortiAnalyzer. Then you will become an NSC4 certified engineer. And then after 2 years, if you are again that certification validity will be expire, then you have to upgrade your certification. Then you can, if you want to go with the Fortinet environment itself, you want to focus your career with the Fortinet itself, then you can move on to the NSC5, NSC6 kind of certification. So to get NSC5 or NSC6 or NSC8 up to that, you must have a certification called NSC4. Then only you can go with the NSC5 or NSC7 or NSC8 and all this. Because this certification again, this NSC4 is the core certification. Okay. So fundamental basic certification to upgrade your skill with other level of certification in Fortinet. Okay. So here in this 3-in-1 firewall mastery combo program, we are covering FortiGate firewall, and this FortiGate firewall, again, if you get certification or training in FortiGate firewall in Fortinet and vendor itself, they will give you the 2 papers, training as 2 papers. First, you must complete FortiGate security paper. Then you need to go to the FortiGate infrastructure paper. If you have a knowledge of both, then only you are eligible to write FCP certification. Okay. When you have this certification, then only you are eligible to go for NSC4 certification with the allied papers like FortiAnalyzer or FortiManager, specialized papers. Okay, FortiAnalyzer or Manager, any one of the 2 devices you can choose. Then you can, if you get certification on these devices, then you will be treated as a NSC4 certified engineer. Clear? So our curriculum in this combo, we are cover FortiGate firewall training, and which is included as per the vendor, which is included FortiGate security and FortiGate infrastructure. Both the paper we will cover it, guys. Okay, fine. So after FortiGate, we will go with the checkpoint. In checkpoint, and sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. One of the costliest certification in this firewall combo. So the cost for the FCP certification, $400 plus tax. And if you prefer NSC4 certification, then if you need to go for either FortiManager or FortiAnalyzer, for that too you need to pay $400. Okay. So it depends on the your wish for which product, which certification you are preferring. Okay. So after FortiGate, as I mentioned, we are going to cover checkpoints. So sorry, checkpoint is the first product we are going to cover in your batch, right? This batch, this in this timing. So which is going to start on coming 8th April, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So as the first product, we are going to cover checkpoint. In checkpoint, similar to Paloalto, there are two type of training level in checkpoint firewall, especially checkpoint firewall. One is called CCSA, Checkpoint Certified Security Administrator, and then CCSE, Checkpoint Certified Security Expert. Okay. So security engineer, sometimes they call it as a security engineer. Okay. So these two type of certification, there is, if you want to go for a CCSE certification, there is a prerequisite. You must complete CCSA first. Only on checkpoint environment only we have this kind of implementation. So if you want to go for expert level certification, you must have a certification called administrator, associate level, checkpoint certified security administrator level. Okay. So if you get this certification, then you are eligible to go for a CCSC certification. Our curriculum, we will cover both CCSA and CCSC. Both we will cover. Okay. So duration for this course, checkpoint, it will around 1 month. For checkpoint, it will take 1 month to complete from CCSA to CCSC. And the certification cost for CCSA 300 USD, and then CCSC 300 USD. So only thing is you must have CCSA certification, then only you can go for a CCSC. Okay. So duration for checkpoint. In checkpoint curriculum, we are going to discuss. Okay, checkpoint, and then Paloalto and FortiGate curriculum we will discuss. So there is no any other paper like FortiGate security or infrastructure or Paloalto in EDU 210, EDU 220 like that. They have a paper similarly administrative level and expert level. The same kind of papers, only single papers. Both are having single papers to cover to complete your certification. Okay. So the discussion we will start now. Before that, the duration for checkpoint, it's 1 month. Duration for Paloalto, here you are learning Paloalto firewall, panorama, Paloalto management device, right? And along with troubleshooting, your lot of curriculum we have than any other firewall. Lot of concepts, lot of curriculum we have than any other firewall in this compo. So Paloalto will obviously take 2 months to complete. 7 to 8 weeks it will take to complete entire Paloalto test. Okay, because we are covering all these three papers, so that's why it is taking 2 months to complete all these three papers. Okay, and after that, FortiGate it will take 1 month to complete. Okay, in this 3-in-1 firewall mastery program, and if you wish, if you want to join a live session for your free firewalls like Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD, and especially for this batch only, guys. So next batch we will not allow to join the live session for or this pre-recorded courses for Cisco ASA and FTD. We are not going to provide. Only for this batch we are providing. Okay. As a goodwill. Okay. So we want to add some value for the students, so that's why we are giving this free two firewall courses as a free of cost. Okay, so you can join either live session, I mean both. We will give you these pre-recorded courses, and if you want, if you wish, you can join the live session with Cisco FTD and Cisco ASIC. So FTD it will go for 1 month, and FTD it will go for 1 month. So total duration for 3-in-1 firewall. So I just want to eliminate the duration for Cisco FTD and ASA since 3-in-1 firewall combo. So I am going to calculate this 3-in-1 firewall combo duration. Okay, so 2 plus 1 3 and almost 3.5 months to 4 months to complete. It will take to complete your all these three firewalls. Additionally, Cisco ASA and FTD will take 1.5 months. So three weeks it will take to complete Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD. So 1.5 months it will take. So you can additionally add your days with if you wish to join the live session. Okay. So totally it will take 4.5 months to 5 months. It will cover all these five firewalls, and especially this three non-firewalls. 3.5 months to 4 months it will take to complete all these three firewalls. Okay. So this is the duration. Since it's a live training program, okay, so definitely it will take all this much duration to complete all these firewalls with proper manner, guys. Okay, so let's start the curriculum now, curriculum discussion now. This is our curriculum. Okay. In Paloalto, so I have added total 14 modules here. In this 14 modules, 14th module it's about the examination certification preparation. So if you are willing to get certification on Paloalto, we will assist you how to prepare yourself, and if you and what are the topics you need to focus, what is the weightage, everything we'll discuss in the 14th module. Okay, but module 1 to module 1, module 2, module 3, and module 4. Module 11. Okay, and under module 11, I think it's some SSL VPN is missed here, so we will include SSL VPN as well. So I just now only I noticed that. Sorry. Okay. So called Global Protect. Global Protect VPN. Okay. So this module 11, module 1 to module 11, I told you, right? So there are three papers: EDU 210, EDU 220, EDU 330. So module 1, module 1 to module 11, which is talk about EDU 210 paper. So if your focus is about to get certification on PCNSA, you must concentrate all these modules, module 1 to module 11. And module 12, it's talk about Panorama, which is EDU 210 paper, 220 paper is covering. EDU 220 paper, it's fully talk about the Panorama only. So that is we are covering under module 12, and module 13, which is troubleshooting paper, EDU 330 paper. Okay, so if you want to get certification on Paloalto PCNSE, then you need to additionally focus on these two models, EDU 210 and EDU 220 and EDU 330 as well additionally. Okay, so model 12, it's talk about the Panorama and what is Panorama, what is the role Panorama have, what is the advantage we have, and how to manage the Panorama, how to, as an administrator, for Panorama device management, how we can do it, and how to manage Paloalto firewalls inside the Panorama, and how to deploy your Panorama as a centralized management device, how to deploy your Panorama as a centralized log collector, and all those we will discuss in this 12th model. Okay, and 13th model, which is talk about EDU 330. So all troubleshooting, what is the packet flow in Paloalto firewall in depth way, and how to troubleshoot, how to capture the packet, and what are the tools we have in a Paloalto site, and to troubleshoot and how to document that troubleshooting, right? And how to reach the escalation team, like support from the Palo Alto tag team, how to reach the Palo Alto tag team, how to raise the ticket on Palo Alto tag, how to register your product, how to upgrade the licenses, everything we will discuss under here. Okay, and then if you have a hardware related issue, how to troubleshoot the hardware related issues. If you have a hardware related issue and you have some like warranties and you want to get hardware related supports, how to reach the hardware team in a Palo Alto, everything we will discuss under troubleshooting paper, guys. Okay, so which is covered under module 13. And module 1 just talk about the Palo Alto firewall architecture and Palo Alto firewall platform. Like Palo Alto is available for cloud security, cloud firewall, and then VM firewall and hardware-based firewall, and VM platform and hardware platform. Both is available. And what is the Palo Alto architecture? How it is processing the packet? Why the SP3 architecture name is called SP3? So single pass parallel processing architecture. So what is the advantage of having this architecture? How it is processing the packet, everything you will get to know about the PAN or introduction to the PAN operating system and advantage of PAN operating system, and then other hardware modules and VM model data sheet discussion we will discuss under module 1 platform and architecture. And module 2 device management, where you are going to perform the as an administrator the routine work, daily work, like taking a backup or creating backup patch update, and then firewall administrator privileges. If you are going to manage multiple administrators, the multiple administrators are going to manage your Palo Alto firewall, and what are their privileges, how to restrict their access, how to register your Palo Alto firewall in a Palo Alto tag account, how to upgrade the licenses, patch updates, right? All the backup and restore, configuration file management, and then administrators privileges, how to create a new admin user account to manage your Palo Alto firewall, and what are the privileges we can give, how to customize the privileges. Everything we will discuss under device management, along with high availability, redundancy, how to manage, how to achieve the redundancy protocol using Palo Alto in a live production network, right? So active passive deployment, active deployment. So and how to manage the logs, everything we'll discuss under device management. And then module 3, it's talk about the Palo Alto deployment. Your Palo Alto firewall, you can deploy the Palo Alto firewall data interfaces in 5 different methods, 5 different implementations. Each have its unique approach to layer 3 deployment. So when you go with the layer 3 deployment, you're deploying your Palo Alto firewall as a gateway firewall. Okay, so which will act like a which will provide the security to your entire production, to entire network, right? And when you want to deploy your Palo Alto firewall to secure your switching environment, layer 2 deployment you can go with. And when you want to use your Palo Alto firewall just like IPS with firewalling function, okay, so this virtual wire interface deployment. So when you have a existing firewall in your production network and you additionally you want to add Palo Alto firewall without making any changes for the next generation firewall features utilization. So in this case, you can go with the virtual wire interface deployment. Okay, so so logically you can think like we are going to deploy just IPS, next generation IPS device. We are making your Palo Alto firewall as just an IPS device. Okay, and tab interface deployment, we are making our Palo Alto firewall as just an IDS kind of device. Okay, and HA interface deployment, when you're implementing high availability redundancy protocol, if your Palo Alto firewall hardware doesn't support HA communication, you don't have enough port for the high availability implementation, then you can go with the data port of your Paloalto firewall. You can use that Paloalto data interfaces as for management purpose for the high availability. Okay, so for the redundancy purpose. So that all this 5 implementation, we are going to do it in a live production network. Okay, so live use cases. Okay, so along with each features, each deployment have their unique approach and unique features, and some of the features will not support from the some of the deployment. So everything we will discuss under interface configuration. Okay, interface deployment. All this 5 deployment we will implement in our live training, guys. Okay, and model 4, which is talk about the NAT. So how, what is NAT policy, how to create a NAT policy, what is source NAT. So here we'll implement source NAT, destination NAT, and then U-turn NAT. So with the static method, dynamic method, pat method, everything we will implement all this type of NATs. Okay, and after that, model 5 to model 9 all are next generation firewall features. Like if you want to control your if you want to block or allow some application in your production network, then we will use app ID, application control feature. And if you want to allow or deny based on the user or user group, let's say I have a multiple team in my production network. Let's say I have a sales team, I have a support team, like that. So I want to allow set of rules and access, set of services and application to the sales team separately, different service and application. Support team, different service and application access I want to allow. So if someone is from support team, they want to try to access the sales team applications, services, I want to deny that. And support, say, someone from the sales team, if they want to access support team application and services, right? So access, so I want to deny that. In that case, you can go with a user-based authentication. So you can allow or deny based on the group of user, nature of the user, they belongs to which team, what type of application and services they need for their job perspective. So which that we can able to restrict by using this user identity feature, guys. Okay, so we are going to use local user database, and we are going to use remote user database like LDAP. So which means Active Directory integration. We are going to do user authentication based on Active Directory. We are going to do user authentication based on the Paloalto firewall local user database itself, and we are going to authenticate them by using security policy itself or web-based authentication and firewall policy-based authentication. Both we will do it, okay, which means captive portal we will do, and then captive portal user authentication and AD integration, AD based user authentication, remote user database. Okay, so I mean security policy itself we can achieve the user authentication. Okay, so both this is web form based authentication. User need to provide his user credential in a web form. But when you have a security policy based authentication, AD integration, remote user authentication, the user database will be already fetched from the Active Directory. So your firewall directly get the information. The user no need to provide the input. Okay, so that we will achieve on the model 6. Model 7, let's talk about the content ID, like when you're allowing some services and application, and that service and application whichever you are accessing, so that may or may not, it's a secure application and secure service. So we need to make sure whatever the user try to access the service or application and data they try to download or upload, so that we need to make sure it's a secure one or not. So antivirus feature, anti-spyware, vulnerability, all your IPS functions will be implemented on the content ID feature. Okay, so we can we can achieve all the features like antivirus, scanning with the scanning against the virus, malware, spyware, vulnerability, weakness of your production network, right? So everything we can able to secure by using the content ID feature. Okay, and URL filtering, it's one of the next generation firewall features, just like similar to application control. If you want to allow or deny some set of websites or single website, and we can do it by using URL filter and then decryption policy. So when you have your Paloalto, I mean, when your production network LAN users or outside users, if they try to access some services or applications, so we need to make sure that application and services are secure or not. But if suppose that application and services are encrypted, user using encrypted services, your firewall by default not have a privilege to examine that data. Okay, so you need to manually you need to attach the decryption policy. So you are going to say that if any encrypted packet, any encrypted data is reached to your production network, we need to decrypt and we need to examine that whether it is safe or not. So we need this decryption policy. You are going to say that your firewall, please, if you're receiving any encrypted traffic, please do decrypt and do examine whether it is a safest traffic or not. So for that, we will use decryption profile. Okay, decryption policy separate, just like security policy and NAT policy, you need to create decryption policy. Based on that, if your firewall receive any encrypted data, it will decrypt and it will analyze and everything is safe. Then re-encryption will happen and then it will hand over to the end user. Okay, so by the help of this decryption feature, so that we will be discussed. And okay, sorry, here I have included in the name of global product. Yeah, I didn't notice that. So VPN, this is global product is nothing, it's your SSL VPN. Okay, so it's the name for this SSL VPN application. You might, if you're already working working for professionals, you might do work from home. So you connected with the VPN application, any connect. If suppose you are having experience while working with the work from home, so if you see just your application is a global product, your SSL VPN application is a global product, then that is a Palo Alto proprietary application. So another end, Palo Alto firewall is there. Okay. So if you see any connect, that is Cisco product. Okay. So if you see global product, that is a Palo Alto product. So Palo Alto SSL VPN application. Okay. So how to implement SSL VPN and what is what is global product application, how to download, how to configure, everything we will see under SSL VPN, which is model 10, model 11. It's talk about the IPsec site-to-site VPN. Okay, so VPN again, these two models are VPN topic. And model 12, you know, that is panorama. What is panorama and what is the use of that? And model 13, it's troubleshooting. Okay, so all will be covered, which means our curriculum included EDU 210 paper, EDU 220 paper, and EDU 330 paper. All this curriculum will be covered under our curriculum guys. Okay, all the topics will be covered, which is comes under EDU 210, 220, and 330 paper. Okay. And after that, in FortiGate, so model 1 to model 1 to 8, it's a FortiGate security paper. There are two papers in Fortinet, right? So for FortiGate 5, FortiGate security paper will have model 1 to 8. Model 9 to 14, FortiGate infrastructure, infra. Okay, so so our curriculum include both, so that's why we have almost 14 models here. So Model 1, similarly, we will discuss about the platform of FortiGate firewall and for platform and architecture, and then other Fortinet products, and then if initial configuration with the FortiGate firewall and registering with the Fortinet tag account, that and all we will cover under Module 1. Module 2, it's device management like taking a backup, allowing a multiple administrators to admin privileges and profiles we are creating and restrictions and backup and restore, automated backup, everything we will do it under model 2. Model 3, it's about the firewall policy, like security policy. What are the security policies we have in FortiGate firewall, how to create a security policy based on the what is implicit policy, what is explicit policy, what is policy-based NAT under when it comes to the NAT. Okay, so everything we'll discuss model 3 and 4 NAT, security policy and NAT policy, how to create security policy by allowing the layer 3 filter to layer 7 filters like application control, URL filter, file blocking, user-based authentication, everything. Okay, and NAT in FortiGate firewall, we'll implement the source NAT, policy-based NAT, central NAT. There are two types of NAT we have, and under source NAT, under destination NAT, here we call it as a virtual IP. Okay, so what is virtual IP? What is policy-based NAT? What is centralless NAT? Everything we'll discuss under NAT module. Module 5, again, it's a user-based authentication. Like in Paloalto, how we are going to integrate with LDAP and local user database, both the same concept here also will be implemented by using FortiGate firewall. And then model 6 to 8, it's about the next generation firewall features like application control, URL filter, file blocking, and then data leakage protection, and then IPS vulnerability protection, right? All those features we will implement. We will discuss one by one, and model 6 to model 8, all next generation firewall features. Okay. And model 9, it's talk about the high availability and redundancy. And model 10, how to manage routing protocols, okay, in your FortiGate firewall, static and dynamic routing protocols. Okay, that we will see. And here we are not going to teach you the routing protocol, like what is routing, what is dynamic routing, what is static routing, what is EAGRP, what is YSPF, what is RIP, what is BGP, not like that. You guys, that's why CCNA is recommended, because that is networking fundamentals. Okay, so if if you have a knowledge, this topic you can able to grab it easily. So what is static route, how to configure the dynamic routing protocol, and then default route, everything we'll discuss, and other dynamic routing protocols also we'll discuss, we'll configure here, okay, implement here. And module 11, it's talk about the VPN, IPsec site-to-site VPN and SSL VPN both. Module 12, one of the undemanding feature, which is called SD-WAN, how to implement SD. What is the SD-WAN? How to implement SD-WAN in Paloalto, sorry, in FortiGate firewall, and how to manage multiple WAN links under one roof by using SD-WAN. So in a secure way, that and all we'll discuss under model 12. And model 13, it's talk about the VDOM. So which is how, if you have a physical FortiGate firewall, how to logically split as a multiple virtual firewall. That is called VDOM. So logical virtual instance. So single firewall we are making that physically it is a single firewall. We are making it as a multiple logical firewalls by using VDOM features. So that we will discuss in model 13. Model 14 is talk about the troubleshooting, packet flow, packet capturing, and then other troubleshooting methodology. We will discuss in the model 14, guys. Model 15 again, it's talk about the examination preparation for FCP certificate. Okay. So this is the curriculum for FortiGate firewall, which include FortiGate security paper and FortiGate infrastructure paper both. Okay. And finally, we'll discuss about the checkpoint. In checkpoint firewall, we are covering, as we mentioned, we are covering CCSA and CCSC. So model 1 to model 7. Okay. This is CCSA paper. Model 8 to model 11, that is CCSC paper. Previously, when it was checkpoint 80.x version, that time under CCSA, VPNs are included, mobile VPN, IPsec VPN, SSL VPN. VPNs are included, high availability are included under CCSA. But now they have upgraded their curriculum. Okay, so up to model 7, and model 7 also some of the features are restricted for CCSA. Okay, some of the features are coming to the CCSC level. Okay, so VPN, now VPN is part of CCSC training, and high availability is a part of CCSC training, and then advanced monitoring tools and event manager all are comes under the CCSC. Troubleshooting comes under the CCSC, and then patch update, license upgradation, and that and all comes under the CCSC. So here, since we are doing a certification based and product based training, so I have arranged the proper curriculum. Okay, so when we are going when you are going for a device management, right? So under initial configuration itself, all the device management, patch update, license upgradation, everything I have included. So the smart licensing, backup, snapshot, restore, and patch update, right? And, and that and all comes under the CCSC only. So, but that we have to go in a flow, proper flow. So that's why I have included here itself. So all up to 11 models we have, all these 11 models, which is talk about CCSA plus CCSC both, guys. Okay. So here under initial configuration, we can deploy your checkpoint firewall in a different standalone method and distributed method. What is architecture, 3-tier architecture of your checkpoint firewall? What is the advantage of having it? So that and all, if you know, then only you can able to understand what is security gateway, what is security manager, what is smart console, everything we will discuss while starting a live session. We will discuss about the introduction to the checkpoint and what is security manager, what is security analyzer, what is the deployment options, what is the advantage of standalone, what is the advantage of distributed, right? Everything we will discuss in a live session, so you no need to worry about it, guys. Okay. And this is again NAT in check. Sorry. Under initial configuration, like taking a backup to patch update, license update, okay, and restore, and then to know about checkpoint, architecture, and Gaia operating system feature sets, everything you will discuss in the initial configuration. Then only you can able to understand all this. And after that, how to create a policy in a standalone device, how to create a policy in a distributed device for security policy, NAT policy, and then how to create shared policy how to create the policy layer, sub layers, internal layers, everything we will discuss under module 5, module 4 and 5 and 6. Just talk about NAT and NAT. So NAT here in checkpoint we call it as a source NAT, and destination NAT are call it as, you can implement in a different way, that is called static NAT and hide NAT and automated. So in checkpoint we have a different kind of approach. So this source NAT we can implement in a auto NAT and hide NAT both. So it's a different approach. And destination NAT also, manual NAT and automated NAT. Okay, both the method we can implement. So what is that? What is hide NAT? Everything you will see in the under NAT model. Model 7, which is talk about the next generation firewall features like application control, URL filter, file blocking, antivirus, anti-spyware, I or IPS, user-based identification. Everything comes under. Okay, so in a, if you go for a checkpoint training CCSC, CCSA, each or individual modules. So everything I just added one big module called advanced firewall features. Okay, so URL filter, it's a separate model. Application control, it's a separate model. Antivirus and anti-spam, it's a separate model. File blocking feature, intrusion prevention system, that and all separate model. User identification, LDAP integration, local user database authentication, it's a separate model. Everything, it's a next generation feature. So every model I just added under model 11. It's a big model. Everything I have added under one model itself. Okay. Model number 8, there are again two models we have as IPsec VPN, SSL VPN. So that I have added under same model. Okay. Model number 9, it's a high availability, active, passive. Model number 10. This is for high availability. This is for redundancy and load balancing purpose, that we will see in model number 9. Model number 10. So how to manage your logs by using checkpoint log features like log management, monitoring and reporting features, like advanced features we have called Smart Event Manager, Smart Event Tracker. Okay, so what is that tools and how to manage when you have it, when you're doing troubleshooting, how we can utilize these features, that and all we'll see under model 10 and model 11. So model 11, which is fully talk about the troubleshooting. So how it is packet flow, how to capture the packet, and how to troubleshoot, and how to use the daemon and everything we'll see under model 11, guys. That is troubleshooting. Okay. So this is our checkpoint curriculum. So I'll share with you for the deeper due to one time concern, I'm not able to discuss in deeper way for checkpoint. I'll share the recorded video deep curriculum discussion for your reference, and this after the session I will share this curriculum for your reference, guys, so you can go through that. Okay, and whatever in this curriculum I have committed, everything will be covered in a proper manner, so you no need to worry about it. Okay, so anything else, like after the tomorrow's demo session, tomorrow I'm going to take any one of the product as a demo. Okay, for that is for my those who want to know about my teaching style. So for that purpose I'm taking that demo, so you can just join tomorrow's session. And other product demo, if you want, I'll share, as I mentioned in the earlier in the session, I'll share the link to access the recorded videos of our other product. Okay, so other firewall products, you can go through that, and if you're interested, you can join, guys. Hope you guys will join tomorrow as well, since we have a batch, since we have a demo, and tomorrow as well. Okay, as of now, the any queries, guys? So regarding the training cost, you will get this 3-in-1 firewall mastery program. Actually, all these 5 firewalls, you can able to get actual cost for all this 5-in-1 firewall combo live training is around 50,000. Each individual firewall cost is 10,000. Will okay. So if you take in any individual firewall, individually all these 5 firewalls, if you take, it will come around 50,000 plus taxes. Okay. So now in this 3-in-1 firewall mastery program, as we committed, we are ready. Those who are going to join this batch, we are going to give ASA and FTD as a free of cost. So you are going to enroll for these three firewalls, and which is cost around 25,000 usually if you're going to take it all these three compo. Okay, so actual cost is around 30,000. If those who take compo, we will give a 5,000 additional offer. So you can grab this for 25,000. But now we are giving a 40% discount. Okay, so you can 40 percentage offer we are giving right now in this course price. So you can take all this three non firewall combo, which means logically you are going to join all these five firewalls within 15,000 INR, 15,000. Okay, and 200 if you are from abroad, you can take all these courses for 200 USD itself. Okay, so all this course you can take it for 200 USD itself plus tax. 200 USD plus tax. Okay, so based on the transaction, I mean the international payment tax only, not for this tax is conversion tax. Okay, it depends on the tool which you are going to use it, the tax. But the course fee, there is no tax. You don't need to pay for any GST and all. So even so you can additionally get 40% offer without GST. Okay, so if you're interested, you can grab this opportunity, guys. And sorry, if you have any concern, you can reach out to me. So like regarding the lab, right? So the for lab, we are using a virtual lab. So we will give you the virtual lab setup for your, I mean, the tools and software which you can create your own lab setup in your laptop or desktop. Okay, so we will assist you in the sessions, in the live session itself. I'll take how to install your own lab setup in your laptop or desktop. If your hardware is not enough, how to install your lab setup in Google Cloud for free of cost. Everything will will teach you, and the tools and softwares we will give you for your reference. And we are also provide the lab access. So if you want, you can access our lab based on the availability. You have to book your slot. We are also providing the virtual lab. Okay, so you have to book your slot based on the availability. You can access your lab rest. Okay. Any doubts? Any queries, guys?